Hello, everybody, and welcome to my beautiful and new podcast, all about spirits, all about intuitive, psychic, and mediums. Um, I've got a few things to let you know before I start. So this is called a quick chat with psychic medium Chantel Miranda, which is me. I just want to let you know that this is all about connecting, networking. You are all welcome to be my guest speaker. Now, if you are a psychic medium yourself, a medium, a psychic, tarot reading, a healer, anything that's got to do within the spiritual field, please feel free to text me, email me, and let's make a date for you to have your time, your speech, whatever you want to talk about that's in relations to that. Now, my first guest that I have today, his name is Mark. He's absolutely amazing. And, you know, I am so grateful that he did want to join me today. So that was pretty lucky. He is a very busy man. Not only does he do the greatest hair, but he also is a tarot reader with so many years of experiences, so well known. That I will bring in him shortly and we'll ask all the questions, anything and everything that you need to ask. Please, I'm on Facebook. If you cannot get through or if there is something that it's not connecting with you, let me know. As I said, this is my very first show, first episode. So welcome all to a quick chat with psychic medium Chantel Miranda. And you're all welcome. Like I said before, this is all about networking with each other, no matter where you are in the world watching us. So if you've got an event happening, say, in Darwin, let us know about it. What are you doing that's got to do with all mediumship? Are you doing a live performance? Where can we find you? How can we make a booking? Let us know. Let everybody know who you are and what you do. So we're really here to spread everything that's got to do with positivity, high energy, and vibes. It's all about love. Okay. If you have any questions as well, you can catch me after the show. This show will only go for an hour. I will always have different guests that are coming through and different things that they might work on. Next week, I will have Jay, which I'll talk to you as we're finishing later on today's first live event. Jay is a psychic medium. He also works on the radio station. I won't tell you much about him because I will let him introduce himself, and that'll be next Friday. But today, please put your hands together for Mark. All right, Mark, can you hear me? You there? Hello.
Here I am.
Wow.
Hello. How are you?
I am doing so good, Mark. Thank you so much for joining me today on my first.
Yeah, well, thank you for inviting me along. I really, really appreciate it. And it's so good to be here with you all.
Thank you. So, Mark, when I did ask if you could join me today, and that is because I really follow the talent that you have with your tarot reading. My partner has had a tarot reading with you, but I also want to ask you a few questions that a lot of people are confused when they do come and see a psychic medium or they want a reading in general. And most of us use cards, right? But most of them don't know the difference between a tarot card and oracle.
Okay, well, there's quite a bit of difference with them, but there's some things that you do that make them all the same. So it's one of those sorts of situations. But the basic difference between a tarot deck and an oracle deck is that a tarot deck is comprised of 78 cards. It has 4 suits, which is wands, cups, swords, and pentacles. It has another section of it of 22 cards called the Major Arcana. And then it has another section to top it all off called the Court cards, which are usually kings, queens, princesses in some decks. And so that is what a tarot deck is. But now, of course, Yeah, go.
Sorry to interrupt, darling.
Mm.
Can you break that down? Now, you said, oh, we've got the cups, we've got the swords, we've got the queens. What does all that mean?
Okay, well, basically, the deck that you play cards with today is taken from the suits that are in the tarot because it was adapted from a pub game or a secular game. I think it's around in the 1700s or something, where they played a game called Tarocchi. Now, the Tarocchi game was they played it in pubs and it used the four suits of the minor arcana, and they come called cups. Now, cups are usually to do with emotions and the
Oh,
fluidity, the alchemy of water, Chantal, as you know. And then we have the element of fire, and that's represented in wands, or in the modern playing card deck, that's clubs. So
oh
they all sort of
wow.
marry each other. Yeah.
Right.
Swords are the suit of air, so this is all about
Mm.
thought and mind.
Ah,
And a cup,
right.
and just to go back with cups, that's the suit of hearts in the
Right.
normal playing deck. So yeah, they all have you could, and some people that are very skilled use just a normal playing deck to read and divine from. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
so then we've got our last one, which is Pentacles, and
Mm.
Pentacles is the suit of earth and all things related to earth. The minor arcana is compromised of those, consists of those, and then it has relating to that. It's more about earthly things,
Right.
situations. Yeah,
Earthly things as in what's happening now, like
yeah,
ground.
and
Oh,
past
right.
and future, but it's more about situational things. Most people, as you know, they come in for readings and they want to know about love, money,
Mm.
and working and all this sort of stuff. And so therefore this is where the minor arcana comes in, because it talks about those things. It's not minor because it's less than, it's minor because the majors are all about what's happening with the journey of your spirit on the tree of life. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow. I had no
yeah,
idea about that. So when
yeah.
you do your card or the deck that I've seen spread, can you
Mm,
explain that? Because I've seen people spread them differently and they go horizontal, straight.
mm, mm.
Can you explain the purpose of that? What does that all mean?
Okay, well, basically, it's really interesting because there are known spreads that people do, and we call a spread. Let's just go back a bit. We call a spread when
Hmm.
we put the cards out. So we
Hmm.
might get you to shuffle, or I just put fan the cards out, and I get you to choose, because you are in your unconscious intelligence, you are picking the cards out of the deck that are for you. Okay.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that is you using your own unconscious competence to be able to take the cards out. And then we do what we call a spread, where we put them in certain places. And those places have meanings in light of the meaning of the card. So let's talk about a basic spread:
Hmm.
past, present, and future. That's a 3-card spread. So if just say, I'll do a little thing here where I'll just
Okay.
say the 6 of Cups has just come up in this deck. Now I'm using the Light Seers deck. It's really hard because I've got a blur on the background. There we
There
go.
we go. Yep, I can see
Yeah,
that now.
6 of Cups, and that would be in the past. So just to quickly, without going into too much detail, this is talking about nostalgia. This is talking about loyal friendship. This is talking about connection with somebody that you haven't seen for a very long time, but maybe have a heart connection with. So, therefore, if that's in the past, we're referencing that as something that's happened from now in the past. Okay.
Right.
So then
Right.
just say our next card would be the strength card. Aren't these cards beautiful? The
They're
light seers.
amazing. I was just
Yeah,
about to say that. Beautiful cards.
yeah. So this is the strength card. And
Right.
if that's in the present, because it's a major arcana, it's sort of references the whole spread. So this is saying that there is going to be a time in your life when heavenly strength is going to be bestowed upon you.
Oh, wow.
And when you are going through something and trudging through something, or you're dealing with that friend, that nostalgic friend in the past, presently you're going to get a supernatural strength that is going to aid you through this present moment. And the future would bring about the justice card. And that is saying that everything equalizes.
Oh,
Everything
okay.
comes to stability. Everything comes to a balance. So we have two states of not balanced and so if you can imagine those scales swaying, and then
Mm.
they'll come to a stable standstill. So all wrongs will be righted. All things that
Wow.
are left undone will be done.
That's amazing. Wow. I can't
Mm.
believe that in one card it says so much and it makes so much sense. Like it's relevant, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And this is one thing about the 78 card deck is that there are 78 meanings. So, um, with an oracle deck is even more challenging because every oracle deck has its own set of cards with their own meanings and their own interpretations.
Mm.
Whereas every 78 card tarot deck has got the four suits, the court cards, and the major arcana. So
That
if you
makes
know
sense.
that, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, if you know the background, well, you can really read from any deck.
That's awesome. See, I had no idea about that. And I'm sure there
Mm,
are other viewers there who would now understand the differences between both. Or we'll
mm,
talk more a little bit about Oracle in a second,
mm,
getting more into the tarot cards. Now, do you feel, or in your experience, that if people need a quick answer or a short, let's say, because I get that, they need
mm, mm,
something in particular today.
mm.
Will I get this? Will I get that? Do you have to go through the whole 70 process of the reading card, or is there a shortcut? I don't know what
Well,
to call it.
this is the shortcut. If someone wants to know a quick answer, I just do this. And it's our Four of Cups. So if that's the quick answer, I would say whatever situation you're experiencing, you're feeling a little bit at peace with it all, and yet you want you want a result, but you're not just doing anything. I mean, you might be feeling at peace, you might be feeling, you could be bored, and you want to get out of the boredom, but you're not willing to really transcend that to put actions
To it,
through
right,
to it to move through it. So that would be the one card answer. So yes, you can do very quick readings, or
right,
you can do very involved readings, which means that
right.
you're actually using bigger spreads with more
Mm.
defined meanings.
Is that when you use your whole 70, or is
Oh,
there a, how does that work with the 70? Because I see,
the-
and I've seen you shuffle, shuffle, shuffle,
yeah,
and then you spread, spread, spread.
yeah.
And it seems that there is a whole life story that you actually
Mm.
can revolve. It's like, because I've seen you do it, and
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's been, wow. Yeah.
well,
Explain
yeah,
that to us. Like, do you know, like if I wanted to come and get a full reading, do you use
yes.
your whole 70 cards there?
Yeah, yeah, I do. I do.
Oh,
And what I
wow.
do is I actually have my own spread that I've devised.
Mm.
And it's very much uses your intuition, third eye, and spirit guidance to be able to set the intention for every row you put out. So the first row, my intention would be to work, to actually gain the person's confidence by actually understanding their situation without them telling me anything.
Oh,
Okay.
would
So
that
the
be,
card,
yeah, the card, sorry to interrupt. Is that the card telling you that, or are you
yes,
doing intuitive there?
both, both, because
Ah,
halfway through, once I'm looking at a set of cards, spirit comes in. I open my heart. I open my third eye,
That
I
right.
open my connection, I become grounded, because I've just got to say, as you would know, and please tell me if you don't agree with this, but
Mm.
um, once you become open and spirit comes in, there's it's a whole different dimension to your reading, because spirit, you don't it's not you anymore, it's spirit through you, so you become this
Correct.
vessel. Yeah.
Absolutely. A lot of people call that, correct me if I'm wrong, you're channeling. It's a channel.
Channeling,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So you
yeah,
are allowing yourself to be connected with your guidance spirits, or
yeah,
so
yeah.
you've got. And yeah, you're right there. I totally feel lighter. And apparently, some people say, Dan, my partner, he says your face changes, and I say, oh my God, do I look scary? And he says, no, you just look like you're really in tune. It's like this concentration.
Well,
Do
I've
you,
had a reading with you, and you are very, very in tune, and very, very um, free with your delivery from spirit. It's actually a very lovely experience.
Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Did you notice that though? Did I change that
Yeah,
face?
yeah.
Yeah,
But you became, your eyes just widened,
that's what
and
they
it's
all
like
said. I'm like, oh,
your face just opened up.
that's amazing. And
Mm.
that's how I see you when you did the reading for Dan. You just went wham, bang, and you were out of it, but you were just going wham, wham, wham. And everything you said, you nailed it. Um, how do you feel after you do a reading? I'm
I
talking
feel,
about emotionally and your energy wise.
yeah, I feel actually, well, when I contact spirit, and if because I always use the cards and the spirit, and spirit guides me with that. But
Mm,
sometimes a presence will come in the room, and as soon as I get that presence, my emotions get involved, and I
mm.
feel like I tear up. That's one of the ways I
Oh,
know that I've contacted somebody that is guiding this person and guiding the reading. Okay. So that's one thing that happens. But afterwards, I feel like there's been a weight taken off my shoulders, because before a reading, and it's not because of the reading, but sometimes I've just got to pick up my cards and do a reading, because
mm.
I feel like there is spirit urging me. There's something to be said to somebody, and I get that sense of urgency from that, to be able to channel that to them. And then soon as I start, and if I contact somebody that's relevant to them, and they get the relevance, and they understand the relevance, and they actually know who you're talking about, there is a sense of tearing up, because spirit so desperately wants to connect.
Would you say that's the emotional part of it all?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's actually beautiful,
It
because
is.
yeah, because I just feel that cleaving, that beautiful joining, and that beautiful sense of connection.
And knowing that you've given, the people that you're reading for what they needed to hear,
Mm,
and
mm,
more, and
mm,
more plus.
mm,
Now,
mm.
when, a lot of people also talk about cutting cords at the end. You don't
Yes.
carry all that energy. Can you explain to us what is it that you do to not go home with all this energy? What do
Mm.
you do to release it?
Well, what I do is I actually start with a circle. So I cast a circle,
Hmm.
and the circle isn't what I would physically cast with salt or anything like that. I just cast a sort of like a transcendental circle. So I involve the person, we close our eyes, we touch hands, and I imagine a ball of light getting bigger, so it draws a big white circle on the ground around us. And then I call in the four corners of the earth with the four elements, welcome them, and then so I've set up a sacred space to do the reading. So after I've finished the reading, I take that all down, and
Right.
in the prayer at the end, I say, now we can step out of this sacred space and move on with our lives with the knowledge that we've received in this sacred space.
That's
So
beautiful, Mark. Wow.
it's like a space, a circle of trust,
Yeah.
and a circle of integrity and truth. So we're both in it. So we both have to, I
And
have to
that,
deliver that. Mm.
can you explain to us why it's important that you protect yourself before and after?
Well, I actually think one of the main people I have to protect myself from is myself because ego gets involved, right? So when you start a reading and they start going, oh yes, I can relate to that, and all of a sudden they'll go, well, like, can you? Well,
We're
I'm
doing
doing.
good here.
Oh, I'm doing good here,
Yeah.
and then that breaks the connection that you did have because
Mm,
ego comes in. So that is the first thing that I think that when I sit at home inside myself during a reading, I have to be very aware when my ego is going to lurch out. And it's not that I discipline it or silence it abruptly. I just come back to the present moment with that
mm,
person. Okay. And then, but I think that there are all sorts of spirits in the spiritual realm, as you would know.
mm,
There are
mm-hmm,
angels, but angels also have their shadow, which we call the lesser keys. And so, therefore, you've got to be able to make sure that what you're communicating with, it doesn't have an agenda other than um, caring for somebody or delivering the messages that they really need to hear. I think that I've seen readers that I feel actually they use a darker energy. I don't judge that. Each to their
mm.
own, but I don't believe I
I
function in
agree
that
with you
realm.
there. Each to
Mm.
their own.
I don't judge if you need to
No.
whatever you tend to do is what you do. But I tend to not work in that side of things and just to
Mm,
be aware of with that circle and the light, there's no dark
mm,
anyway. Do you know what I
mm.
mean? So I don't that is the ward spell. That is the spell of protection.
Yeah. Right. What about when a quick thing? Do you have people who constantly come and need a reading? And if so, how do you deal with that?
I don't really like people that. No, I mean I love people, but I don't really like it when people,
I know what
um,
you.
yeah, when people actually get that sort of. Okay, for example, you might be able to relate to this. I had one lady a couple of years ago who was a lovely, lovely lady, but what she was doing is she kept on holding photos up off her phone and say, "See this person? Can you trust this person? See this person? Are they talking about me?" And
Oh,
spirit,
poor thing.
I
Yeah.
know, spirit led me to say, okay, I see that you really need to know a lot about these people, but you can only really feel safe with what they tend to show you and tell you. And what is hidden behind that veil must remain hidden. And we have to look at why you want to know those absolute intimate details about people around you.
That sounds
Because
to me that's coming from her own self insecurity.
yeah, exactly. And bless her because she was a
Hmm.
lovely lady, but I said to her, I can promise you that knowing those things about the people will not help you deal or not deal with them because she had an alertness about her that was only wanting to see trustworthiness and people that she deemed worthy to be around her. And that comes from an area of pain and an
Absolutely.
area of
Trauma, something
sadness
in the
and trauma.
past. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so then in the closing circle, before you close it, you say a silent prayer for them. If they're not ready
Mm.
to hear it, you can tell because they're going to defer it onto other people all the time.
Yeah. When do you recommend it's good to have a reading?
I think some of the best readings I've had is when I have just been somewhere, seen a sign, and thought, that's it, I'm going to go in. Although I've had two life changing significant readings. One was when I was at uni, and this lady, I met her on a bus in Melbourne and we were chatting and she said she was a reader and I said, oh look, I've been interested in tarot, and she invited me over to her place for a reading, and I think she wanted me to she wanted to practice. Anyway, she was fantastic, and I became very interested in the cards, even more so through that experience. And the other one was in Byron Bay because I was experiencing a very deep sense of trauma. Without going into too much details,
No.
I was being accused of something I didn't do, and
Mm.
it was getting escalated through legalities. And anyway,
Oh.
I know I didn't do it,
Mm.
but it was like people around me didn't. And I felt
Mm.
this pathological need to tell everybody my story. And I realized that
Mm.
that wasn't the right thing to do either. So I just happened to be in Byron Bay at a wonderful bookshop that doesn't exist anymore called the Abraxas Bookshop. I got this
Mhm.
absolutely gorgeous reader who just got the first thing she said was, she had the Hanged Man, and she said, "You are developing character by going through what you're going through now. It is hard, but you are going to really glean a lot from this experience." So, and at that point, I just went, and I think I cried all the way through.
Emotional, yeah.
Yeah, I cried all the way through it.
It's very common and very everyone that you talk to really, when we are going through this spiritual awakening, it's not a nice journey. It's a roller
Mm,
coaster of a lot of emotion. You
mm, mm,
cry, your habits, food habits, drinking
mm,
habits change. A lot of things change, including your style of living.
mm,
Material things really don't mean much to you when once upon a time you wanted to have everything what else everybody
mm,
had. I
mm,
wanted that
mm,
big TV. I want the best stereo. And then you come to a point that, that does mean nothing when you don't have what you've got in here.
mm, mm,
Connections,
mm,
connections with spirit world, connections with the universe. And
mm,
the
mm.
real thing is connection with yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the most in the very first tarot handbook I bought, am I allowed to mention the author
You
of
can
this
do
book?
what you want, Mark, because I love you. Go on.
Mm, I love you too, darling. We work together as well,
I
so
know.
that's where we
Yeah.
sort of close that way. Well, I the very first book I bought on it was from the Circle Bookshop in Brisbane, and it was called The Beginner's Guide to Tarot by a lady named Eileen Connolly. And I took it up to the desk, and the lady looked at me and she said, "Young man," because I was young then, um, ravaged by the ides of time. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was in my 20s, and she just said, "This is the book to use, and you picked it out of all those books. There's something there." And she even saw something there then.
Mm.
And so then that book intrigued me, and I immersed myself in that book and started to study. So
The
yeah,
whole thing, that's how it
yeah,
started.
and
And how did
if
it feel when you started studying it? Did you feel comfortable at home? Like, oh my God, this is so me. Did it
well,
feel just that sense that you were looking
Well, yeah, I felt like I came home, Chantal. So the thing is,
for? Mm,
the things that I learned in that book, I still teach in my workshops.
that's
So I
beautiful.
do have one coming up on the 15th of this month. So it's
Oh, well, tell us about it.
a
Tell
week
us.
to a week Saturday. So it's not this Saturday coming. It's the
Mm,
next Saturday, and it's going to be on. It's most of my workshops. I found that when I run beginner workshops, they're full. When I start to get advanced and too deep, it sort of alienates people, I think. So every workshop that I teach now is usually coming from come in. If you know nothing, you're in a perfect place. If you know stuff, you can contribute and we can discuss. You see, so yeah, so it's
okay,
going to
so
be
you do classes, you teach as well. Is that what you're
yes,
saying?
yeah. I teach those workshops.
All right, for all those people interested, where can we find you? Where do you
At
do it?
Chameleon New Age Salon in Surface Paradise, 3171 Surface Paradise Boulevard. And we use a booking system that you can access from the www.chameleonnewAgeSalon.com
Mm-hmm.
website. And it's called Human Ticks. And you can actually buy a ticket for the workshop, or you can just come in and get them at the door. Everybody is welcome. I will if I get, say, more than 30, it tends to then be more like a teacher in classroom, and I don't like that. I want to still have hands-on, and I still want to interact with everybody and have discussions and let people that are experienced share their knowledge, as well as pick up those people that are just beginning and nurture them through their first steps
Put
of
them under your wings, because it
yeah,
takes you back when you started it, how it feels and
exactly.
how it felt. That's amazing. You know, if you're out there, guys, and you want to learn how to do tarot reading, come to this course. What's the date and time?
It's not this. It's not. Today is Friday, so tomorrow's Saturday, and it's a week from tomorrow.
Let me have
Sorry,
a
I had to
look.
think about that. I think it's the
put you on the
15th of
spot.
October. I
Let me
know.
see.
I'll have a look on my calendar here too, because I've got it here.
Let me have a look. So today's the 7th, and it's on a Saturday. You're the
Yeah,
15th. You're
next week,
right.
15th. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, yeah.
mm.
I did a Facebook and Instagram and TikTok plug for it today.
Well, for those that don't know you at all, what is your Facebook?
Oh,
What's your
it's just
Facebook?
my Facebook page is I've got a tarot one called Tarot Magic, and that is no, that's sorry, that's my Instagram. My Facebook is Chameleon UH Salon Tarot Readers. Okay.
Okay.
So that one sort of involves workshop, and I will post workshop notes and things like that. Or if people request different things that have been to a workshop, that's where you work that through. But I have Tarot Magic on Instagram. It's
Mm.
TAROT underscore MAJIK.
We've got
And that's on
TikTok
Instagram.
here crossing through our line. So if
Yeah.
people want to get into it, just go TikTok and follow our beautiful Mark here, who can actually give you updates when he does reading, the dates he starts reading if you want to make a booking, because you also do private readings. You don't only do classes. Is that
Yes.
correct? At the
I do
Chameleon.
private readings and private lessons. So I can do
Okay.
one-on-one lessons.
How
That's
does
just
that
the same
work?
price as a reading. Okay.
And what
So
is the price of a reading?
well, if you half an hour at Chameleon is 95, and then a full hour is 130. Okay.
Right.
Now I do 15 minutes because that's they ask me to do that. But it's just like, when you start an engine and you rev it up.
Oh, yes, I do know that. That
Yeah.
feeling. You're just warming up, ready to go, and
Yep.
it's
And then it's
finished.
like done. Oh,
But that's
okay.
what you were saying earlier, that's the quick readings that you do.
Yes.
Would you
Yes.
put them under that category? Okay, so when people
Absolutely.
come, they want the 15-minute reading, they get exactly what they want there and then,
Yes.
correct? That
Absolutely.
makes sense. And then if
Yeah,
they
yeah.
want a longer one, or an hour, is it an hour reading, half an hour? What is it,
Yeah,
45
half an hour. Yeah,
minutes?
we do 15, 45. No, sorry, 15, half, 45, and then full.
And then
Full
full.
hour. Yeah, yeah.
Right. Just out of curiosity, do you do family readings with cards, or is it just individuals, one
Um,
on one?
well, I have done couple readings.
Mm,
And I've also done like when friends come in the room together
okay.
and things like that. I do. I don't have any problems doing that.
Mm,
Really, it's how people want to present. But as you know, what comes out, it changes spirit, because spirit sometimes only wants to talk privately with people.
mm.
And
Well,
if there's
and
other people then
then again, sometimes whoever make the booking, obviously it's for them.
yes.
Um, the messages that are coming across really has nothing to do with the other person. I would most probably think stick with the one person and why the friend comes through. I mean,
I
do you know
do
what I
like
mean?
that.
Because I have had situations, and that's why I do, and I specialize in family readings, psychic medium, with families who have lost a loved one in the family, obviously, and they need readings. That's my strength.
And that's
However, when
beautiful.
it's magical. But however, when they come for a reading, and can my friend come because they want to see it, it just shifts the energy, because I can
Yes.
feel the friend's
Yes.
energy. And then I'm trying to break it down whose energy I'm reading. And then out of nowhere, I end up reading the friend. So I always say, if you want a reading, come on your own.
Yes.
I mean, you can come in a group of friends, but they need to wait outside,
Mm, mm,
and keep that full energy and intention, what spirit's trying to get across
mm,
to that particular person.
mm.
Mm,
I think sometimes spirit will actually say, "Yep, they can," and that's
yeah.
when it'll be comfortable. But
Okay.
sometimes it'll say that they will say, "Oh no, can you? I just want to
Speak
that
to one
to
person.
one person at a time."
Mm,
And so you just, like I said, you be present, open your heart, and spirit just starts. And the less of you, the more there is of spirit.
correct. What do you suggest people, or what would it be? Advice before they come and get a reading?
Okay. I think the most important thing about anything in life is to make sure that you understand the dynamic, that you're not only being dragged along by the universe, you get
Mm,
to set intentions. You get to influence matter on a subatomic level. You get
mm,
to, by setting an intention, you influence spirit. So think carefully and think carefully about what you want and be precise. I mean, some people just want a bit of a spiritual tune up. Some people get a spiritual rev up. Some
mm.
people get news and information that helps them.
A bit
Some
of a
people
spiritual shake-up.
Yeah, some people, there's, and it's interesting because, people's reaction to cards because of what Hollywood has portrayed about the tarot is
Mm,
really interesting as well. So sometimes you have to spend time deprogramming that reaction.
mm. I don't know if you get it when you do your tarot readings. As some of you know, I am a psychic medium. I mainly see spirit who are connected to you. And sometimes one thing that annoys me, Mark, is when
Mm,
people come and see me and they sit in front of me and I say, hello, how are you? I introduce myself. I explain how I work. I say, is
mm,
this what you're looking for? Yes. And then you start saying, okay, because I do mediumship, some people just want to connect with their loved ones.
mm, mm, mm,
Psychic does kick in
mm,
regardless.
mm,
Okay.
mm, mm,
However, I cannot stand the people who sit there and say, I don't know. You tell me. What do you see around me? What should
mm,
I know?
mm, mm,
Do
mm.
you get that when you do your readings, like
Yeah.
your tarot readers, when they say, I don't know, you tell me?
Well, I will call avoidance. I call that avoidance, and I'll
Mm,
call it okay. So if I'm actually channeling and doing things and I'm seeing stuff in the cards, and if someone is slippery, they don't want to be pinned down, they're like a snake slithering that energy, I will call it. I will say, look, I really feel that this you're avoiding something here. I'm genuinely channeling. And I get that sometimes right now it doesn't mean anything, but maybe you might walk down the street in 15 minutes and something that I've said might hit you in the face. And I've had that before.
mm,
I was channeling for a girl and I said, look, I just see this big red bow around a big thing. And that's all I can, it's just a big red bow. And she's going, oh, I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. And you could see the cynicism set in a little bit.
mm.
And I just went, again, ego back, keep going, you know? And anyway, she rang me the next day and she said, I got, um, we got this pool for our kids and it arrived in a box with a big red bow, a huge big red bow around it. And I said, see, you didn't
There
relate
you
to it at the
go.
time, but spirit is without time.
Mm,
So sometimes
mm.
they will tell me stuff
Yeah,
and
and
I
that's the way
usually
it
explain
works.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
So I think the thing is that people are it's a matter of being able to hold space cleanly for
yes,
people no matter where they are, no matter what their demand is, and no matter what their motivation is. But if they clearly set an intention, spirit meets that and honors that.
exactly. Um, for me, when I have to do, because I also use I use the oracle cards.
Mm,
When they sit in front of me and say, I don't know why I'm here, my friend came and she said I should come. Now, I was going to ask you that question. Do you have people that come and say, I don't know, this is my first time doing a reading. I don't know what I
mm,
don't know what
mm,
I want. Do you
mm.
understand the
Yeah, yeah.
question? Do you get that? Like, I
Yeah.
don't know what I want. So for
Mm,
me, it's important to come and see a psychic medium when you need something and you know what it is.
mm,
Do
mm,
you want to talk to a loved one who's in heaven?
mm,
Do you need spiritual guidance? That's the psychic bit of things. Or do you need clarification, which is
mm,
the
mm,
spiritual counseling that I do? Or you need the three of them. We can
mm,
combine all of them.
mm.
But
Well,
go on.
yeah. Sorry. No, just what comes to mind is one lady that came in and it wasn't actually, she didn't come into me. She came into another reader, but I was listening at the front desk and she said, I don't want counseling. I just want a reading. I want someone just to read cards, but I don't want to be cancelled. So
Mm.
that was a direct,
Yeah.
soon
Tarot
as you,
reading.
yeah. So
Yeah.
if you went to recommend any course of action to her, even if it's just a tarot reading without any channeling or anything, if you're just reading the cards like a cold reading,
Cold
I
reading. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I call that, a cold
Yeah, it
reading.
is a
Yeah.
cold reading. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're just reading meanings in
Yeah.
places. And so therefore they are in that cold reading, if that's what makes them satisfied, I am actually really okay to deliver that too, because the thing is, but I will challenge them and say, look, I see that I believe that you don't want the counselling element, but I said you can sit down on a park bench with a stranger and they might say something to you that gives you some guidance and some help. And yet, if we're actually doing a reading, you've got these boundaries saying that you don't want to have that. I think it's all part of a reading. I think that spirit guides you through every aspect of what that person wants and needs, even if they really don't know what it is themselves. And quite often, a question that I ask a lot is, what do you want?
Exactly.
And you know what most people say?
Mm?
I don't know.
I
And
know,
so
right?
so this is where I sort of help them define
What
what they
they,
want
yeah.
and set intentions.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you so much, Mark. I'm going to ask questions to our beautiful viewers. Mark, are you willing to do readings for some of our viewers?
Yeah, sure. Love to. It would be a privilege.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is look up now at someone that might want a tarot reading with Mark today. So are you happy with how many readings? It's up
Oh,
to you.
just whatever. Like we're at
Okay, we'll
we've
see
got
how we go.
roughly 15 minutes left on our hour. So whatever you
Yeah,
want to do, I'm happy to go with the flow.
okay. Now, anyone would like a reading with Mark, please just Facebook me or just send a message giving your name.
And
You need
location. I only like
and
name and location.
and
So if they're local
location.
or Brisbane or Sydney or whatever. Yeah.
Okay,
So
I've got Belle Chantel for sharing this tonight. Okay, thank you, Belle. I've got a few people saying hi. Can you
hi
have
everyone.
messages from mum and dad? Message from my uncle Jason, please. Hi. What we're doing today is we're doing tarot reading. So I've got Belle. Okay, so Belle has done this. Okay, here we go. Where are you, Belle?
Hi Belle. Yeah, I can
And
see you.
you can see her. Belle,
Yeah,
where are you
yeah.
from? She's from Brisbane.
Bris Vegas.
Okay, Bris Vegas, Belle. Let's do a little reading
Okay.
for Belle.
Okay, cool. No worries. Thanks for joining us tonight, Belle. We really appreciate your viewing and your presence. Okay, so I'm just going to draw 2 cards, and boy, did I draw an interesting card to start with. Okay, so the first card that I drew, and in this Light Seers deck, this is called the King of Wands. So this is actually a very interesting person or manifestation of an aspect of self. So, Belle, you are actually on some level manifesting some very masculine, passionate energy. As you can see, it's a wand which relates to the element of fire. So this is talking about passion and creativity and cleansing, and so everything that that element of fire brings, this is mastery. The king is mastery. So you are experiencing this aspect of self. Now, this you could be actually then manifesting that in this realm as a man, a king of wands. Now, usually wands are fire signs, so you can relate to that person as a fire sign, but they are a torchbearer. They, because they're a master of their emotion, they are someone that guides. Now, remember that you create your universe, Belle, and there's an aspect of yourself that you have, that you're creating within yourself, and you even have a little, you have, see the line in the background, this is actually standing out to me, and I really sense, and what spirit's really saying, that this person has had a lot of courage. They have had supernatural courage. They are a torchbearer. They've experienced a lot of life, but they've had to face some challenges to which they have actually manifested a lot of courage. Okay. So the next card that I drew is the Ace of Pentacles. So aces are what we call seeds. Okay, so they are things that have not yet manifest, but the absolute potential is there. So this is the potential of earth or earthly things, and how we manifest that in this realm sometimes can be, and what spirit's actually guiding me through to right now is money. So it is actually saying that this King of Wands, who is actually somebody that has been very courageous through some tough times, is going to start to be, he's got the seed or an idea or something, it's not yet poked through the ground, of being able to make some money for himself. But the interesting thing is, because he's a master, he realizes that you just don't make money by grabbing at it, you manifest it from within. You create abundance for self, and you set that intention, and then the universe meets it. So this person is actually got the potential to make a lot of money at the moment. And because of this, I'm going to draw one more card, and oops, everything's going away. And this is the Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords, isn't this beautiful? It sort of implies that there's some sort of rest and break away. And that's exactly what it says. With this money, this person's really going to take some time out and heal and mend and become stronger in themselves. But it's not gaining strength. It's actually through being still and rest and recovery. So please let me know, Belle, if this is resonating with you right now. But yeah, that's the example of a quick reading.
Beautiful. Um, Thank you. I've got Christy here. She says, "Hi, I'm new here." So are we. We're
Hi,
new.
Christy.
We just started today.
How are you? I don't know
Christy
which one of
Voss.
those are you, but let's just say it's all you. Hello, how are you?
She's saying, "Hello, new viewer. Just tell us where you're from, and like and share these so we can, have more people also. And tell us where you're from so Mark can give you a free reading, or shall we
Mm.
call it? What's it called? What do you want to call it? There you go. Hello, Chris Chantal. Hope you're all good. Okay, let's do a reading. I've got another one here from
Oh,
Brisbane.
okay, Donna Ines.
Oh, Donna Ines. Hi, guys. Love it from spirit guidance, please. Do you want to do
Okay.
that?
Yeah,
Do you
I'll
want
do
to?
that.
Okay,
Yeah, but
Donna Ines.
I'm still gonna use the
Yeah,
cards.
that's what
Okay.
we're doing today, tarot reading. So it's beautiful.
I've got the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so the Six of Pentacles is talking about growing things and making things expand, the expansion of earth energy. I've also got the King of Pentacles next to it, and the tower. Okay, so now, Donna, is it? Yeah, I just want you to understand something about the tower. And a lot of people, Hollywood has changed the meaning of a lot of cards because they use it to create dramatic themes in movies, and the tower is one of them. But the tower is something that we should welcome. The energy of the tower is all about the ideas that we have, the fixed ideas that we have on people, places, and outcomes are about to receive a supernatural jolt that will actually cause anything false around you to completely collapse. And what will be left is the truth. Okay. Now, this can be quite a sudden and quite a jolting experience for you. But the thing is, the tower is the universe saying, enough, we need truth, and just goes
Mm.
bang. And all those structures that you have, or people around you have forced you to have, or people around you have, are going to fall, and out of the ashes, the phoenix arises. Now, the thing is, the other aspect of the tower, as you can see, people are falling from the top of it. Now, this is a little bit akin to Alice in Wonderland when she falls down the rabbit hole. Now, the thing is, we can fall down the rabbit hole towards that that phoenix rising from the ashes experience. We can fall down kicking and screaming all the way to the bottom. The whole idea, what the tower is saying, whatever this experience is for you, if you surrender, the free fall will be peaceful. It's saying surrender everything, surrender everything that you possibly have in outcome orientation to this event. Surrender it immediately, and the free fall will be peaceful and pleasant. Okay, so in reference to these two other cards, we've got this lovely earth energy card here, the master of earth energy. Usually we're talking about Capricornians, Taurians, and Virgins. So that's our lovely earth. They're our lovely earth sort of signs around it, and this is the mastery of those. So what I'd look like, I don't know, Donna, if you're actually into astrology, but it'd be interesting to see right now where those earth signs are around you and their influence, because what they usually mean with the two pentacles there, it's meaning talking about grounding. It's talking about actually channeling your energy back into the earth. So whatever's going on in your head and in your emotions and in your surrounds, it's time to anchor it back into the earth, because like a tree, if you let your roots grow deeply into the earth, you will, when the winds come and that tower experience comes, you will be firmly anchored. You might move around a little bit with it, but you will be so earthed that you will be able to see the situation for what it is and not get caught up in the emotion of it. Okay. So,
Beautiful.
yeah. So, this is the message that I have for you.
Thank you. Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Donna.
Feedback for you. Belinda said, yes, everything makes sense and resonate. There you go.
Love you. Thank you,
Beautiful.
darling.
I've got Debbie here from
Deb.
Toowoomba. There
Yeah.
you
Oh,
go.
g'day. Hey, guess what, Deb? I'm from Toowoomba originally, too. I was born in Toowoomba. I'm a Toowoombian. And my mum
what's
still lives there, and I go there
uh,
every 2 weeks.
and what's your street name?
Oh, well, there is a street up there called Rowbotham Street, and that happens to be my last name, but it doesn't actually, there was a lot of Rowbothams there, and we may or may not be
It was
related.
an honor to you, and you know it. It was an
No,
honor to your family.
no. Well, it may be, but yeah, I don't actually really know, to tell the truth. People do ask me that. I don't know. So anyway, let's
Okay, what
just
do we
pull
have for
some
Donna?
cards. Ooh, I've got something really special for you. And you know what, Donna? I just want you to know that, and what spirit is actually telling me is that I sense a real sadness around you. And I feel that life has been somewhat of an effort. So, what I want you to understand is that it's time for you to hold on, okay? Because the card that I pulled for you is called the Wheel of Fortune. And what that is telling me is that when things you've transcended into that place, and now you're about to journey and transcend out of it. So energy is shifting, energy is changing for you. And I would hesitate to say that there could be a new love interest around you looking at the Ace of Cups. So we're actually looking at the seed. So we're looking at this beautiful emotional energy that's going to come out from its origin through you in this lovely bubbling. It's like the ace of cups is like a water, the element of water acting like a wellspring. It's just bubbling up. And it's like a fountain that you can drink from. So we've got the wheel here saying your life is about to take a big turn. And usually I don't really like to talk in polarities from, the from the better to the worse and the worse to the better, because everything is just a perception. But the wheel is saying your energy is about to come back up. And this is going to give you a lovely emotional surge like a wellspring within you, and that may manifest in a little bit of a romantic interlude in your environment. And what that's going to also do is give you a lot of options. So we've got the eight of pentacles here, so it's going to give you options. And this wonderful new wellspring is also going to give you the ability to be able to look at what you've been doing, and it's like on the seventh day after God created the world, he rested, and behold, it was good. And that's going to be the feeling that you're going to have. You're going to be able to sit back like the image in the card, and you're going to behold the things that you've done while you've been doing this, and you're going to even acknowledge for yourself that it is going to be good. So this is a beautiful reading, and I want you to understand that I'm not making light of where you've come from and what you've experienced, because I believe that this has been a little bit of a lonely, like not feeling. You can be in a room of people but be lonely. But what I mean is that sometimes you can feel alone, and this is a terrible place sometimes because you're left to your own devices. But energy is about to shift and move, and that energy is going to pick up, and there's going to be this lovely emotional wellspring that's going to come up from your very, very deepest heart of hearts. And you might manifest that in a bit of a love interest. So how much fun is that going to be for you?
That is awesome
It's
stuff there.
beautiful. Yeah.
Well, we might leave it to there, Mark. Thank you
Okay, no
so,
worries.
so much for being here tonight. And I'll see if I've got any more feedbacks for you. So we know where people can find you. That's where is it? I forgot already. Jokes.
Because you know what? There's a psychic medium that works there as well, and she's pretty bloody good too. Oh, it's that way.
That way.
I can't do it.
I do.
But yeah,
I do
her.
work every Thursday. You will
Her.
find me there. And
So
him.
Gold Coast
Oh,
people, if you're in the room,
okay,
yeah,
do it.
if
Where
you're
am
in the
I?
room, Gold Coast people, and
There.
you want a personalized reading,
Okay.
she is the lady to see.
Thank you
If you
very
want
much.
tarot, I'm there usually Wednesday to Saturday, but you have to book. Okay.
Correct.
So,
All right.
and yeah,
Thank you so much, Mark. And thank you, everybody, for joining tonight. I am going to just say a few more little things before we leave. So you can find Mark at Chameleon New Age Salon at Surface Paradise Boulevard 3171. Make a booking online or what?
see the TikTok handle there, MarkyBoy88.
You can find him there as well.
Please add me there because and follow me because I do live readings, and I also do a look at that. Chantal is amazing. There's a fan for you. And the other thing
Thank you,
is
Debbie.
I'm going to also I also do little TikTok videos of doing of little readings of the day, cards of the day, amongst other silly stuff, but
it's not
mainly it's
silly.
there.
Yeah.
Did you see the chicken thing that happened today? Oh, so I got even someone going, are you all right?
No, thank God I didn't. But anyway, look, you've got another feedback. 100% can validate what you just said.
Yeah, but that's validating that Chantal is awesome. That's what Val is.
We're talking about you, darling. How exciting. Many thanks. Here you go. That's another one. How exciting. Many thanks.
No worries, Donna.
So what we'll do now is I'll just mute you for 2 little seconds.
Look, thanks, everybody. Love you heaps. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Mark. You can find us in YouTube if you need to share. Thank you. Well, that was Mark. How wonderful is that? The other thing that I wanted to tell you guys is that next Friday, I will have Jay. He's also, I can't remember where he's from, but tune in at the same time, 7:27. He's going to be sharing his experiences. He'll be talking about everything pretty much what we did with Mark today. We'll ask questions, and you are most welcome to join in. I want this today and all the time that I'm on, you are part of it. You are part of this community. You want to learn about spiritual things. You want to grow. Obviously, if you tuned in, it's because you're going through some kind of a journey that you need to connect with. So I'll be having lots of different guests, healers, people that like to do little potion motions, what do they call them again? Ministers from spiritual church, and also people who are doing events. Like this weekend, I've got, where is it? I had it here. There is a beautiful event that V is oh my God, I've lost the Witches Picnic Day. Please Google the Witches Picnic Day. That's going to be based, I think it's, look, I'm so sorry, V, I lost all the paperwork, but we're going to have Veronica soon as well. She organizes Fairytopia, and if you are looking to put your own little store somewhere, we're going to give you advice of how to grow spiritually, where all the events are happening around your area, where you can find me, making bookings and everything that you need to know, because I know a lot of people don't understand how to contact, how to do this, and I'll do the best I can by bringing them all here live, and you can join us as well. Now, this Sunday, I will be at Woody Point Spiritual Church at Redcliffe at 7 o'clock. I'll be doing platform reading. So if you want a free reading, come down there, come and visit me. The other thing is that I work here from Ormiston, which is only 35 minutes from the CBD, Brisbane, every Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. only by bookings. I've got a beautiful place here. We're close to the water. It's actually not far from where they made the Pirates of the Caribbean. I have to say that. Yeah, Dan looks at me because I tell everyone that because I'm proud of it. Also, I will be going to Sydney next week to the My Body Spirit Festival. I'll be located in G23. That's my little store. Also, there's so many alsos. Where else can you find me? The one and only Psychic TV Australia. I said it the wrong way, didn't I? Psychic TV Australia. International Psychic TV International Australia. My PIN number is 9103. You can go on my website, Psychic Medium Chantal Miranda, or Google it and go on my website. All the links are there. So if you go to Psychic TV Australia, click on that. It'll take you directly to the website. That is also with the Chameleon New Age. If you want a reading on Thursdays, because that's when I work Thursdays, you go on to my website, click on that, and it'll go straight to their website. And that's the same with everything I do. All right, guys, stay tuned and hope to see you next week at 7:27. Thank you so much for watching. Ciao for now. Bye.